1-1, 1-1.
We undeniable. We undeniable. We undeniable. Is anybody home? Am I missing some info that I should probably know? This ain't a crime, bro. Tell the entire truth and let it set you free. We undeniable. We undeniable.
Welcome back, number 20, Mauricio Salas. And number 42, Jake Schindler. Those were your non-starters. Here is tonight's starting lineup. In goal, number 22, Andrew Coughlin. On defense, number 21, Darren Toby. Also on defense, number 2, Ben Raymond. At midfield, co-captain, number 4, Dave Bordeaux. Also at midfield, number 44, Liam Callahan. And at forward, co-captain, number 13, Bo Hielman. The head coach of the Utica City FC is Ryan Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, the sports world was brought to a state of shock on Sunday with news of the horrific helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 9 people, including former NBA superstar Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna. This tragedy affected each and every one of us, athletes, coaches, mothers, fathers, siblings, as the entire world felt the reverberations of lives lost too soon. Tonight, as our Utica City FC players prepared to do what they love in front of a crowd of passionate sports fans at the Adirondack Bank Center, we join together with the rest of the world's athletes, coaches, and fans to honor those lost. Please join us in a moment of silence while we pay tribute and respect to the families and friends of the victims and all of those suffering. Thank you. Please remain standing as we honor our great country with the singing of our national anthem performed tonight by the Denty Elementary 5th and 6th grade chorus under the direction of Sarah Anderson.
O'er the ramparts we watch. It can be safely said that most everybody is working for Friday night, and we've got a Friday night for you here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium as we bring you UCFC After Dark in the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. Tonight, it's the St. Louis Ambush, 6-7 on the season, hosted by the Utica City FC, who is 7-3 overall. City playing their third consecutive game against the St. Louis Ambush here this evening. Ray Biggs alongside all of you, wherever you may be, for this Friday night matchup. The first time that Utica City FC has ever hosted a Friday night home game here at the Aud, and we're so glad that you'll get to experience it with all of us. So how did those last two games go for Utica City FC? As it has been a little bit of time. They had the bye last weekend, but before that they made the trip down to St. Charles, Missouri to take on the Ambush for 2. The first game of the series, it was a Friday-Sunday set. It was a shootout loss to the Ambush, 7-6 the final, as Carvalho and Thomas each had 2 goals apiece for the Ambush. Bo Yelovitz with a goal and 2 assists, while Bordeaux and Moises Gonzalez each had a goal and an assist apiece before St. Louis would win in the shootout 2-1. And then the last time out, an 11-5 win over the Ambush for Utica City FC, in which they were outshot 40-27, but Andrew Coughlin came up with a monstrous performance in goal. Bo Yelovitz, 2 goals and 3 assists up front. JT Thomas, 2+1 to lead the Ambush. Tony Walls set to kick this one off. It'll be the first of 2 in the Empire State for the Ambush, and we are underway. City tonight wearing the white uniforms with the blue shoulders, while the Ambush correspond with their teal. A foul going against Oitamea for St. Louis. This is the 4th all-time meeting between the two sides. Utica City FC has won 2 out of the 3 up to this point in a series that dates back to January of 2019. This is the first meeting, though, at the Aud. The first 3 have all come at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Right wing side, with it under his right foot here, is Darren Toby, and Toby will drop it off the width of the field over to Nate Bordeaux. Back to center for Liam Callahan. Callahan will change off with Bordeaux doing the honors of handling the ball. Segura will change on. 14:20 to go here in the first quarter of play. Paulo gets the start tonight for St. Louis. His record 6-5. Andrew Coughlin, 7-2 this year. A steal. Oitamea looking top drawer as Coughlin was caught a little bit too far out, but that ricochets off the crossbar now. Opposite side, one away from Tony Walls by Jake Schindler. Walls, a spectacular talent for the Ambush. 15 goals this year, 21 points. He was the player of the week in the league for week 6. He recently signed a contract to play in the USL for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, which is where former Syracuse Silver Knight Kenardo Forbes is. 13:43 to go, opening quarter, another counterattack. Oitamea, low shot, and a save made by Coughlin. It came off of his right foot. Stolen back, Walls, another shot, another save by Coughlin. Coughlin tested early on a momentary flurry of volleys here from St. Louis, and was able to keep them all walled out of his goal. 0-0, 13:20 to go, first quarter. Leaked out ahead to Abassi. Abassi across to the recently returning Mauricio Salas, his first match back for City here in 2020. A foul along the boards will result in a free kick for Utica City FC. Domenico Vitali over to Abassi. Abassi chips this down low. Out of the corner, a great pass over to Momo, and he just ripped the shot wide. Now Salas with an opportunity off the bouncing volley. And that one will end up and out of play over the head of Paulo. Paulo in his 3rd year in the Major Arena Soccer League. He's tied for 3rd in the league in wins at the moment. Up the right wing, Utica had it knocked off of his foot there by Domenico Vitali. First 3 shots of the game belonging to the St. Louis Ambush, while Utica City FC has yet to put one on the frame. Led down the left wing, Utica Carvalho off the boards, loose ball. Cleaned away there by Abassi as Coughlin got taken down to the box. with 12:21 to play in the opening quarter. And that came over the boards, and then the attacker surging in off the ball had his momentum kind of carry him forward into Andrew. Andrew Coughlin this year, a 7-2 record, a 4.40 GAA, a 69.4 save percentage. He ranks among the league leaders in all categories, and he's a gamer. He'll get back up to his feet. He's ready to rock and roll. Coughlin with a thrown distribution, looking way downfield for Bo Yelovitz, the captain. And angled away by the ambush as they'll reset on the cusp of their own third. Kozakov looking up the near wing side, got it back. Kozakov back to Paulo. And now Kozakov up the left wing. 11:57 to go. We're in the first quarter of play. Right wing side, getting a run in behind. It's Jahic with a shot that banked off the corner boards. It never got its way towards the goal mouth. James Togbo wins the ball away, comes up the wall, only to turn it over to Mario Marcos. 11:35 to play here in the first quarter, and Utica City FC will have to slow things down a little touch here in an effort to regroup. Width of the pitch, Schindler back to Gonzalez. Moises Gonzalez, 2 goals and an assist in the win on January the 19th. He gets another touch on the left wing here. The lead pass just out in front of him from Jake Schindler. Schindler right now the top scoring defender for Utica City FC. Off his right foot, distributes to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez sensing the pressure, feathering it back to Schindler once more. Now to Raymond. Raymond down the kick play to the boards. This one will sneak all the way to the net front. Dieguez with the extra touch, surging through Gonzalez. He got taken down, and they score! UCFC kept coming in waves, and Christian Segura gets UCFC out to a 1-0 lead. Gonzalez peeled down to the turf, but it leaked through over to Christian Segura, and he hammers it into the back of the net, 1-0. For Christian Segura, it's his 15th of the year. He'll move up in the top 10 in the MASL in goals, at least for the time being. Lots of matches being played tonight in the league, but again, that is his 15th of the year. He's over the 20-point mark. Segura, a man who has been named one of the 3 stars on 4 different occasions this year for UCFC.
Where you're first. Utica City FC goal scored unassisted by number 8, Christian.
Walls with a break, shot short side, save made by Coughlin. Trying to get it out of the box was Bo Yelovitz, and he'll volley it out of there. Now Momo creating space. Momo off and running left side, and Oitamea able to run it down from back behind Momo. 10:08 to go. We're in the first quarter. Duarte looking way downfield, and that will be covered up here by Domenico Vitali. 9:55 to go. We're in the first quarter. Liam Callahan dropping it off to a wide open Abassi on the right. They'll send a floating double around him, including Tony Walls. But now to the middle. Here comes Salas. Salas. Great pass over to Toby. Toby able to get it out of traffic there. Great presence on the ball for Utica City FC as they will work back to the center line. 9:32 to go. We're in the opening quarter. Left wing, Darren Toby. Toby back across to Onua Abassi. Abassi getting some practice in the last couple of weeks here. He was using the wet floor markers from the janitor closet. Was doing some dribbling drills. 9:08 to go, first quarter. Out through the center of the neutral zone, headed by Togba. Width of the field onto the feet of Tony Walls. Of course, the most dangerous threat here for the ambush. Walls battling for it here with Bordeaux. Bordeaux able to pry it free. A great effort to win the ball back by the former Rutgers Scarlet Knight, Nate Bordeaux. 8:40 to go, opening quarter. And UCFC yet to really get much of a build-up, although they do have the 1-0 lead. That early flurry by the ambush was very, very ominous to be sure, but UCFC does seem like they're in a bit more control of their flow coming up the field now. Togba to Gonzalez, hinging to the middle. Gonzalez slices it across. Down to Segura in the corner, and he will dump a pass up top to James Togba. Segura off the back heel pass, chipped off the glass. It leaks out to the opposite side. Tony Walls bodying his man into the boards. Ricardo Diegues and Tony Walls now having a bit of glance back and forth here as it was coming back out of the St. Louis third. A lot of stares being exchanged there between the two. A little bit of jersey tugging, among other things going on there in front of the St. Louis bench. 7:40 to go, first quarter. Paulo will make the first pass out to Pablo on the right side. Pablo way downfield. Down to Utica. Utica looking off the wall. That was broken up by Benny Raymond. And a lofted pass ahead that's played back by Diegues. Good crossfield pass on the change here. Down to Gonzalez. Gonzalez stepping middle. Through ball. Raymond. That was covered up. Well done by the ambush defensively, but now stolen back again. Out of the pressure, out of the middle, left wing side. Here's Yelovitz. Yelovitz banks it off the boards. And it just eluded the target set in the middle of the pitch there. That was Uros Momic. Ben Raymond had to go backpedal for it. 6:57 to go, first quarter. The lone goal of this one belonging to Christian Segura. Salas. Off the far side wall, recovers and gathers on the left foot before sending it straight back. Onual Abassi to the middle of the field. 6:29 to play. We're in the first quarter. It is 1-0 UCFC. Liam Callahan down to the corner for Bo Yelovitz. Yelovitz racing away from pressure. Now stops just inside the zone line and leaves it back for Abassi. Abassi going to try to play a little bit of that isolation game that he's famous for before sending it across over to Salas. Again, they keep trying to get Abassi into one-on-one matchups. A collision there with San Luis along the boards, and that will result in a UCFC free kick. Across to Segura. Segura hands it right back for Vitali. Bordeaux to the middle. They were targeting Segura, and that was well read by Jahic. 5:35 to play, first quarter. A chance here for the ambush. Stepping across, a shot off the outside of the net. Great look coming inside for Mario Marcos. He couldn't capitalize. Lofted back in on goal with a pitching wedge there. And the save was made by Coughlin. Good counterattack here for City. The entry pass, Bordeaux scores! What a feed by Diegues! Off the stretch through the neutral zone. It's 2-0 City. The boys in blue doubling down on a Friday night. What a play from back to front. After it was chipped in on the goal of Andrew Coughlin, Diegues to Bordeaux. And then Bordeaux patiently firing it over the head of Paulo. It's 2-0, 5:15 to go first quarter. Now we have a timeout on the field.
To number 9, Ricardo Diegues. Time of the goal, 9:40.
as Bordeaux from Ricardo Diegues. The MASL podcast returns for the 2019-20 season. Join the hosts as they talk to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and take you behind the scenes of the Major Arena Soccer League. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts. Also, we'd like to tell you about Kick This, the radio show hosted by Soccer Sam. Outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the Major Arena Soccer League is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. Out of our first officials time out of this matchup. Utica City FC couldn't have asked for a better prelude as Nate Bordeaux doubles up the Utica City FC lead, assisted by Diegues. 5:05 to play, first quarter. Paulo lights into one with his right foot. They're looking downfield to a one-on-one. And it just got behind Tony Walls with his back to Jake Schindler. He had to dump it off back up top for Santos. Santos under heat from Yelovitz. Yelovitz playing through him and will go down to pressure Paulo. Paulo up to Jajic, left wing side. Trying to cross over, right side, was looking for Jonathan Santos, and now Santos steals it right back after it was broken up. 4:30 to play, first quarter. The top of the box, Raymond under heat here. Needs to get it out of trouble and is able to do so with some help from Uros Momic. Momic in his first year in the Major Arena Soccer League, he played for Bryant and Stratton College. Was a practice squad player at this time last year for UCFC, but was never signed to the active roster until this year. Dos Santos on the regroup, back to the native Brit, JT Thomas. Thomas was an instrumental part of the St. Louis Ambush's win over the Milwaukee Wave, the defending MASL champions earlier this year. He had 2 goals and 3 assists. Bank pass to the front was knocked away by Schindler and recovered by Duarte. Center circle, Dos Santos. Trying to take his man one-on-one to Utica. Utica got behind Salas, banked it off the wall. Again, nobody home for the ambush, as the only man available was Utica on the back door. After Roy Tomea was the man who set him up. Put up and out of play, 3:15 to go, first quarter. And this will stay in the UCFC end. Free kick, top of the box, coming here for St. Louis. Utica steps over it, a shot and a goal. JT Thomas with his 15th of the year for St. Louis. And the ambush have cut the early City advantage in half. Off the overstep, JT Thomas, the second man to the ball. And he pounded it to the back of the cage. 3:13 to go, first quarter. And now a 2-1 match. Utica scoring the first 2 goals of the game, but the ambush are right into it now. Thomas unassisted on the top of the arc restart. 2:54 to play, first quarter. 1-goal game at the moment, and it's worth noting all 6 of the St. Louis Ambush's wins this year, they have all been a 1-goal game. They've been to overtime a couple of times. This is the Major Arena Soccer League's version of the cardiac kids, so to speak. You can almost definitely count on an exciting game most nights. And UCFC has played some memorable ones with them in the early stages of their time here in Utica. Across to Bordeaux slicing it back across for Christian Segura, the man who has the first Utica goal in this match. Deep downfield, bank pass, played to Yelovitz, volleyed with the left foot, and played up and out of play. That caught the safety netting back behind Paulo. 2:09 to go, first quarter. Shots are 4-2 as credited on the scoreboard here at the Aunt. Stolen away at center, Darren Toby. He'll run the hinge, back to Segura, and now to Raymond. Raymond from his right foot, dishes back across. And Segura to Moises Gonzalez. Coughlin, always known to be an active participant in the offense in addition to his defensive exploits. He starts it forward here, but doesn't try to go too deep with it. He's using the support that's tight to him right now in an effort to see if they can create a downfield passing lane off of that first pass. Toby is pinned into the boards by San Luis. A free kick for Utica. Ben Raymond over to Darren Toby. Toby stepping to the middle, left-footed pass. Right to the feet of Moises Gonzalez. 1:10 to go, first quarter. It is 2-1 Utica. Christian Segura. Straight back for Darren Toby. And worked across for Benny Raymond. The fans here at the Odd beginning to come to life. 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ben Raymond will change off for Obasi. Mauricio Salas is on as well here. Great pass off the board, Segura. Salas not able to access the ball there on the left wing. Segura was tripped up behind the play. A free kick coming for City from the neutral zone. And Salas works it quickly back to Onua Obasi. 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is 2-1 Utica. Segura steps to the middle. High arcing cross, looking for the scissors kick there for Mauricio Salas, but not to be. It was a misconnection on that pass, rainbowed into the right wing corner. 20 seconds to go first quarter. Here comes St. Louis on a counterattack. Great touch coming through the middle, and what a recovery by Ricardo Dieguez, but hold on. Oitamea had the ball wrested away by Ricardo Dieguez. A blue card has come out of the referee's pocket. And Christian Segura is headed off. So it had nothing to do with that original exchange there on the ball. It was something unrelated to that. Let's get the penalty.
Valley Materials penalty kill. Utica City FC penalty, charge number 8, Christian Segura. 2 minutes for a reckless foul.
2 minutes for a reckless foul for Christian Segura.
14:48.
So it is the ambush to the power play, where they're operating right now at 32%, 9 of 28 on the season. 0.1 left on the clock. Ball was out of play, and they will just let this one expire and go into the second quarter. It is Utica 2, St. Louis 1. At the end of our opening quarter of play here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Second quarter action coming your way next on MASL TV. Now we're back here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium with Major Arena Soccer League action here tonight. At the end of one quarter of play, Utica City FC leads the St. Louis Ambush by a 2-1 score. The goals for UCFC out of that first quarter of play coming from Christian Segura and Nate Bordeaux back-to-back, 4:18 and 9:45. The Ambush would get one back on a top-of-the-arc restart goal by J.T. Thomas at 11:47. Utica is going to have to kill off the remaining 148 of a penalty issued, a blue card for a reckless tackle with just 12 seconds left in the first quarter, assessed to Christian Segura. And it's intriguing there because you go back and you look at what happened there as Coughlin punches it down the pitch to begin the second quarter, rebounded off the boards. Paulo is down in an effort to shield the bottom of the net, and Schindler was able to win the ball back. Great penalty killing to start this second quarter by Utica City FC. Lofted downfield, Coughlin off the boards, and that one will make its way up the shelf of the wall there and out of play. It brushed along the crowd. But what's intriguing about that was they brought out the blue card, but the player involved in the scrum for the ball was Ricardo Dieguez and not Christian Segura. So perhaps a case of mistaken identity. Oitamia takes the return pass. Give and go back from Carvalho, and a shot going high over the bar. Recovered by Thomas. Over to Pablo, right side, knocked away by Onua Obasi. That'll provide some relief with 53 seconds to go on the power play. Oitamea to his left, connects with Thomas. Floating double being committed to the ball here for City. Thomas lighting into a shot with his right foot. A save made by Coughlin. 13:47 to go in the second quarter. A battle for it ensues out of the right side corner. Toby trying to fight his way out of there, and he does. He got that up to Jake Schindler. Talk about a straitjacket escape with the ball there. 13:30 to go, second quarter, 18 seconds to go in the penalty. Pablo. Back across to Carvalho. Oitameo. Oitameo looking for Thomas there, and then it got knocked out by Onua Obasi. Penalty has expired. Thomas. Oitamea. Oitamea, a right-footed shot there, banked off the boards. He was looking for Carvalho inside. And as the ball was cleared out, it went up and off the scoreboard. 13:01 to go, second quarter. Zone line restart coming up here for the St. Louis Ambush. Tony Walls will be behind the ball. Walls to his right. The shot was blocked as attempted by Utica. 12:53 to go, second quarter. Oitamea racing through center to Thomas. Thomas lost it to the end boards. Toby collects it. Toby under heat, needs to find an option and does. It's Coughlin. And now Obasi down the left wing side to Togba. 12.5 to go in the second quarter. This one's still tight right now, 2-1 in favor of Utica City FC. Toby leading Gonzalez on the zone line. Yelovitz back to Obasi, great one touch. Callahan over the bar. Obasi kept it alive. Yelovitz off the volley. Gonzalez blocked down in front. Great effort there by the Ambush, selling out to block that volley on the left wing side. As it is jettisoned back to center. Oitamea really selling himself out there in the box in front of that left side post. The ball never hit him, but he went down in an effort to be in position to block. Oitamea collided with here by Callahan as he was coming up with the ball. And a foul going against Utica City FC. Paulo. Over to Felipe. And Felipe back to Paulo in the middle of the field. Paulo way down, had an option open, but it airmailed over the header of Mario Marcos. One back by the ambush. Jajic trying to keep it alive. Right-footed shot wide here for Marcos. .11:10 to go, second quarter. Chipped off the wall and out by Yelovitz. And stolen back again by the ambush. Left-footed shot, Marcos, and stretching out to get it, Mr. Stretch, Andrew Coughlin himself, coming up with a stop there. May have been labeled wide, but Coughlin was taking no chances. 10:50 to go, second quarter. San Luis back to Paulo. Paulo under heat here from Salas. Needs to get rid of it in a hurry and does. Douglas Dos Santos to San Luis. And again, Utica wins it back. Onto the feet of Benny Raymond. Raymond back to Andrew Coughlin. Fun fact about Andrew, he now owns a t-shirt that says Mr. Stretch on it. Posted a picture to his social channels earlier in the week in anticipation of this Friday night matchup. 10:10 to go, second quarter. Ambush with the build-up here. Left side, San Luis. Lost it to Schindler, but now stolen back away. Turning into a shot was to Utica, and it was walled off by Coughlin. Coughlin immediately drops a dime out to center to Ricardo Dieguez. Across to Ben Raymond. Change happening behind the play. Vitale comes on and immediately touches the ball. Will backpedal before distributing to Obasi. Obasi on the move down the boards. Obasi getting free. Banks it off the wall. Wide open back door. And off the side of the frame there for Christian Segura. 9:29 to play, second quarter. Utica continuing to contain the play here in the upper third. Obasi stops on a dime. Looks right for Yelovitz. And now back to Obasi again on the reset. Makes a great dangling move to get around the defender. Yelovitz back to Domenico Vitale as he tried to cut one to fit into the upper 90, but sailed it over the glass. Ambush will get the opportunity at the clearance here. Jonathan Santos. And stolen away by Utica City FC right away. Bo Yelovitz, a great hold-up along the boards. Back to James Togba. Togba getting a defender to sell out. And then Gonzalez with one that got blocked away as he tried to cross it in there. 8:38 to play, second quarter. Gonzalez taken down around the boards. But back up top it comes to James Togba. Now to Momo. Momo, great one-touch back from Gonzalez. Togba springing Toby up the left wing. Now Toby will slow it up once more. Looks like City wants to get some changes on, and they will as they advance back into the attacking zone. Yelovitz not able to center it in there. That was blocked away by Santos. 8:04 to play, second quarter. And Utica wins it back. Backheel pass here from Yelovitz. And Liam Callahan will look for relief from Andrew Coughlin. Salas putting on the jets, coming down the boards. He fires a heat-seeking missile that comes off the back glass. Callahan out to Dieguez. Dieguez off the boards, trying to hunt the ball back down the middle, as nobody was there from Utica to receive that carom, and Tony Walls was able to remove it from harm's way with 7:26 to go in the second quarter. And we will be taken into our next officials timeout. You're watching Utica City FC on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. We'll take a break here in the second quarter. It's Utica 2, Ambush 1. Back in just a moment. Out of the timeout, 7:26 to go before we hit halftime. It's Utica 2 and the Ambush 1 here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Again, this is the first Friday night home game in Utica City FC history. Led forward, Mauricio Salas. Coming down the wall, Mario Marcos pried the ball away. And as the ambush went to clear, it got deflected off of one of the Utica City players and now recovered by Obasi and then Schindler. 7 minutes to go before halftime. Obasi directs it back. Left wing for Segura to Schindler. Schindler to Salas. Salas tried to go to the chip down the boards. Felipe was there to clog it. And now the ambush win it back with the ball at the foot of Paulo. Paulo looking way downfield, trying to lead Thomas into the ball. Obasi got a piece of it to guide it back to Coughlin. Sent back towards Coughlin, near danger there as Thomas was sliding across, but the ball just landed out in front of his foot. 6:22 to go, second quarter. Here's City on the counterattack. Bordeaux banked off the end wall. Felipe now has it contained and will be able to jet it back through center. By the way, through 100 games this year in the Major Arena Soccer League, there is only a slight home field advantage. The home team has won 60 of the 100 contests. The visiting team has won 40. And that was as of 1 day ago. Down towards Paulo. Paulo outside the box. Needed to split the defense and did. It comes back to Togba. Togba off the boards. Follow up. Momo scores! Utica City FC. Off a giveaway by Paulo. Togba screaming one off the bar. And then Momo had it pinball off a network of defenders and into the back of the net. 3-1 Utica, 5:39 to play in the second quarter.
Scored by number 7, Momo.
Off the glass rebound, Dos Santos, as we were trying to bring you the announcement of the goal. Dos Santos firing one that just went wide. Put up and out of play by Yelovitz. St. Louis working with it from out of the back. Paulo will join the rush as he steps out to midfield. Great battle for the ball. Tony Walls getting free behind Darren Toby. Banked off the boards. That was knocked away by Gonzalez, but St. Louis will stay with it. Guided into the center of the box. Raymond works it free. Raymond trying to chip it once more. And behind Santos, he gets free. Raymond with a great effort to transition to the attack, and now City will effectively go into a much more conventional mode of attack here. Dieguez back heel to Segura. And Segura was run off the ball there by San Luis. 4:28 to go, second quarter. Santos. To Duca. With a touch back from Walls at center. And losing the ball away immediately as he caught it was Bobadilla. Here comes City. Cross-court pass over here from Mauricio Salas. Was looking for Dieguez. Dieguez losing it out of the corner. Paulo knocked it away. 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Returned by Paulo. And sent back to the goalkeeper. Paulo up the right side. Dos Santos slips free. Dos Santos, short side with the shot. Save made by Coughlin, a stand-up save. And the rebound hunted down by Mario Marcos. And put up and out of play. 3:42 to go in the second quarter. It is 3-1 Utica. Played back, Walls off the post. Thomas on the regather here for St. Louis. Itamia to the middle of the field, pinned under the foot of Carvalho. Now wide, Felipe with a shot that got blocked away. Itamia had it knocked away. Diegues leading the counterattack forward, and Itamia came up shoulder to shoulder and challenged Diegues. A great recovery by the ambush. 3:07 to go, second quarter. That was a really good job of gapping up on transition and stopping it before it could start there for Diegues. One of the most slippery players on the Utica City FC roster. He's got 14 goals this year. Otamio with one that goes wide. And now Karam down to center. Here's Momo leading the charge. Momo shoots. Low shot was saved by Paulo. 2:38 to go in the second quarter. Again, it is 3-1 Utica. The latest goal coming for Momo, as he was able to get it to bounce around a bunch on the inside of the St. Louis box. 2:17 to go, second quarter. City under some heat here as St. Louis was bringing the pressure big time. And now Dos Santos chips it out to the corner. Left-footed shot. San Luis scores. Stefan San Luis brings it back to a one-goal game. It's 3-2. San Luis just holding it up in the corner. He turned, fired, and it ricocheted into the back of the net behind Andrew Coughlin. 2:04 to play in the second quarter, and it is 3-2. Back to a one-goal game we go. St. Louis chasing their 7th victory of the season. They're 7th in the Eastern Conference right now. Togba back to Domenico Vitali as play resumes. It's now 3-2. The lead has been trimmed down to a single goal. James Togba back to Andrew Coughlin. Togba hammers it down the right side boards in front of the benches. That's one back by Felipe. A burst of speed forward for Tony Walls to Thomas. Off the angle in the corner. Nice job cutting that off there by James Togba. Togba able to head that rush off at the pass. 1:23 to go, second quarter. Stolen back by the ambush. Walls coming down the walls. For a guy with the name Tony Walls, you have to admit he's awful comfortable playing arena soccer. 1:01 to play here in the second quarter. Santos down the boards. And City will be awarded a free kick here at the zone line. Ben Raymond will start it forward. A deep pass that settles at the head of the target downfield, Diegues. He was looking to cross it with a header. And another foul on St. Louis. Tony Walls would like a word here with the official, and he has gotten a yellow card for dissent. No power play here for Utica. But the ambush will be without their best attacker for the next 5 minutes of play. A yellow card to Tony Walls, as he didn't like the foul call initially. The cards had stayed in the pocket, until the reaction, at which point the official went to his back pocket. 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Utica would love another one, to be up by a pair at halftime rather than a single goal. St. Louis would love nothing more than to maybe find a way to get forward and tie this up. And the status quo would work for both sides on some level. Salas looking out the back, and now here is Segura. Raymond is in the center of the floor. Salas, another burst of speed forward, really showing a physical explosiveness to his game right now as he continues to kind of get back in the flow of things. He's only been back here for about a week. An entanglement in the corner. A foul will give the ball back to the ambush. With 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Oitamiya coming forward, trying to dangle it behind Segura. Segura broke it up. Oitamiya got it back, took the shot, blocked off the shins of Ben Raymond. And that brings us to the end of the first half. A back and forth first half with plenty of quality as we get into halftime with a 3-2 score on the board. And we'll be sending it down to Alicia D'Addario with Jake Schindler in just a moment. Again, a 3-2 score. Utica leading the ambush.
Down to the field with your halftime interview, Alicia.
Thanks, Tim. I'm here with Jake Schindler. This is the third time you played St. Louis. How does that impact the game? It's a tight one so far.
It doesn't really make much of a difference. We're just out here to win every game that we can.
What do you have to do in the second half to kind of extend that lead and get the win?
We got to do what coach is telling us to do instead of trying to play the game ourselves.
All right, thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
And that was Alicia D'Addario with Jake Schindler. Again, it's halftime here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. And so far, it has been well worth the wait throughout the work week. 3-2 our score at the break. City leading the ambush on MASL TV.
FC is proud to be recognizing the Bryant and Stratton College's men's soccer team tonight for winning the 2019 USCAA's National Championship. Our own Momo played for the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats and was 2018 USCAA National Player of the Year. The Bobcats won the USCAA National title 1-0. The Bobcats ended their season with a 13-0-2 record and were ranked #1. This is the team's second national title. Their first came in 2001 when they won the NJCAA national title. Congrats to the Bobcats and thank you for your support of Utica City FC. Also enjoy all of the Utica City FC action, European style from field level. The Corona Premier Beer Garden is the only place in the Adirondack Bank Center to watch the game from field level, right up against the boards. For just a $25 ticket, you receive access to the beer garden and Irish pub, as well as all-you-can-eat authentic German food. Contact the box shops today to find out about beer bunkers and season tickets. Take your shot at the 50-50 benefiting the Save the Day Foundation. Winner will receive half the pot while the other goes directly to charity. You can head out to the kiosk on the concourse or flag down somewhere wearing the neon blue shirt. Winner will be announced during the fourth quarter. This Sunday, 72 Tavern Grill will be having a party during the big game. Take advantage of the big game specials like $5 wings, tenders, and flatbread pizza, or $2 crafts. Also during the game, follow Utica City FC on Twitter as co-captain Nate Bordeaux will be taking over the account. Utica City FC fans, the ad for team stores open and fresh stock along the Utica City FC shirts, hats, jerseys, and so much more. Stop at section 202 and stock up now. Fans, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and give us a like on Facebook to stay updated on all Utica City FC news and events.
In Girl Scout age group,
Treat yourself. Get your tickets now at Country Comes to Town featuring Toby Keith. Special guest Clay Walker. Live at the Adirondack Bank Center Thursday, June 4th. Tickets are on sale now. Go to EmpireStateTix.com. The Adirondack Bank Center box office or call 315-790-9070.
when it comes to wrestling, looking for professional spectacular.
time, many things have changed, but one thing remains constant: our dedication to the greater Utica community. We continue to serve the city and towns where our customers live, whether through donations, fundraising, or volunteering. We are proud to be part of the local community and look forward to serving our hometown for many years to come. Don's Ford, your hometown dealer since 1968.
Fans, direct your attention to the video boards, as here are your first half highlights.
And we're back here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium here coming out of the second half and into the third quarter. It's Utica City FC 3 and the St. Louis Ambush 2. Some out-of-town scoreboard updates for you from the other tenants who play in this building. The Utica Comets right now up 2-0 on the Cleveland Monsters. That game right now on 94.9 K-Rock out in Cleveland with Joe Roberts, who's back on the horse following the birth of his baby girl Nora last week. And then for the Utica Pioneers right now, 4-1. They lead the Nazareth Golden Flyers on the road out in Rochester. So right now, everything coming up Utica out of town. But we've got quite the tussle going on inside this building right now. Utica 3, Ambush 2 as we get ready for second half action. Only Tamiya will start things back up here for the Ambush in their teal kits with the black sleeves. Utica tonight in the whites with the blue sleeves. And we're back up and running. Deflected across. Callahan trying to dig this off the wall, and he did. As it comes back to Darren Toby. 2 goals in the first, 1 in the second for Utica. A single goal in each quarter right now so far for St. Louis. Back to Christian Segura. Segura with his right foot across to Bordeaux. And the co-captain will curl through the middle of the field as it's held up by the Defensive Player of the Year in the MASL from last season, Darren Toby. He enters tonight with 13 blocked shots. Banked it off the boards and back to Ben Raymond. Raymond to his left to Darren Toby as they continue to methodically hold the ball here at center. Not quite making a mad dash down the field just yet. It is 3-2 Utica. Coughlin. Strong pass to the middle. Yelovitz angles it out wide, trying to split the defense with Segura, and that was stolen away by J.T. Thomas. 2 game-winning goals on the season for J.T. Thomas. And he has one of the 2 here tonight for the ambush. The other from Stephane St. Louis. 13:32 to go in the third quarter. A foul along the boards will give it back to Utica. I say St. Louis, that is the hockey fan in me talking. Gonzalez, cross corner, off the shelf of the boards, a juicy bounce. Just in front of Obasi, and Thomas there on the back checking play to take it away. Stolen back, Momo. Gonzalez trying to get this out of traffic and was able to do so. Persistence paying off. Slides it to Momo. Crossing pass just in front of Obasi. He didn't come forward for it right away as it banked off the boards and the ambush steal it away. Oitamia to his left, a shot going high and wide for Dos Santos. Settled by Moises Gonzalez. Gonzalez feathers it forward, and a diagonal pass by Vitali looking for Momo. Pinned up against the wall, and a foul against St. Louis. Salas had it stolen away as he looked for the return pass up the boards. It's Jajic looking downfield, and that will be taken back by Andrew Coughlin. 12:19 to play, third quarter. A back heel, Yelovitz inside to Callahan. And Callahan chips it around a defender up the boards. Pablo stole it away. They were targeting Vitali there, and it never got back there. 12:05 to play, third quarter. 3-2 Utica leading the ambush. Held up centrally by Pablo. Pablo shovels it wide from San Luis. Downfield, leaking in behind Yelovitz. A volley chance out of the corner. Sharp angle for Jajic. He gave it a chance, but ultimately a ride up and out of play. 11:40 to go. We're in the third quarter. These teams have already gone to overtime once this year. A 7-6 shootout win for the ambush. It was 11-5 the last time out on January the 19th, 2 days later. Utica had a much bigger cushion in that game, 8-3. But right now, nursing a lead of just a single goal. Segura got it out of the air and now will curl it back to Darren Toby. Toby banks it down the boards, hand to the middle. Dieguez takes the return wide. Great give and go out of the corner there from Bordeaux. And James Togba there to retrieve it and send it back. 10:48 to go in the third quarter. Shots right now are credited officially 11-6 St. Louis. Down the boards, Dieguez off the wall, lunging for it, Bordeaux. And Bordeaux taken down as he stepped through the middle of the field. He took a face-first dive down onto the Adirondack Bank Center turf. A free kick for Darren Toby. Not quite what you'd call top of the box here, but they'll drop it off down low. A short side shot taken by Dieguez. And on the follow-up, it will be smothered by Paulo. The Ambush do have Jason Norsik on the bench as the backup keeper tonight. And if you remember, in the match last Friday night, or 2 Friday nights ago, have to remember City's coming off the bye here, Paulo was in a situation at one point where he got shaken up for a couple of minutes, and the Ambush had to go to the extra attacker in like the second quarter, as there was no backup available for that night. That predicament has been resolved with Norsik on the bench here tonight. 9:47 to go, third quarter. Andrew Coughlin up to Christian Segura. So an early extra attacker is not something you see every day, but in that situation, it was warranted for the Ambush. Great job to clog the boards there by Christian Segura. Takes the lead pass off one touch. Yelovitz stands and delivers. Claps one off the boards and wide. And funneled back to center. Abasi Gonzalez, Yelovitz corkscrewing one to the middle, cut off by Mario Marcos. Right-footed delivery. Up the right wing. Paulo with a great pass. Crossing ball over Coughlin. What a save on Marcos. That was a great combo coming out of the corner. And Andrew Coughlin, Mr. Stretch, up to the task again. Jajic back to the center circle, led forward by Duarte. Felipe. Diagonal pass cut off by Schindler, but he turned it right back over. Oitamia carrying left. It got knocked out by Onua Obasi, and now it's Gonzalez sprinting forward. Felipe puts one high, far, and gone. In baseball, he'd be touching them all. That almost hit the back wall of the building, which I don't think in the year and a half or so that this team has been in Utica, I don't think anybody's hit the back wall of the arena just yet, at least not where it expands out up into the rafters. They've hit the back wall in the corners, I'm sure, but not when the seats go all the way up. So that was a bullet. 7:52 to go, third quarter. It is 3-2 Utica leading the St. Louis Ambush. Utica with a relatively young history in arena soccer, as this team was brought in from Syracuse prior to the start of last season. They were previously the Syracuse Silver Knights. Lob downfield by Obasi. Obasi to Dieguez. Dieguez turning into a shot, and that was swallowed up by Paulo. Meanwhile, St. Louis, they have forever of a arena soccer tradition down there. Between the Ambush in multiple iterations and the St. Louis Steamers. Callahan won that off of San Luis. And just ahead of Dieguez on the lead pass. Paulo under duress has to be careful. Dieguez got a three and scores! Forza party, Ricardo Dieguez. With City's 4th goal tonight and his 15th of the season. Extend that point streak to 10, his 2nd point of the night. He's got goals in 9 out of 10 to begin his Utica City FC career. His 4th goal of the year against St. Louis as well. It is 4-2 Utica. And we have a timeout on the pitch. So Diegues unassisted. With this time out of the field, we want to tell you about Miter USA. Utica City FC would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and the MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce rate to make it more efficient for play in arena soccer. So now 4-2. Thank Ricardo Diegues for that. The man who is 6th in the league in points per game. Again, goals in 9 out of 10 to begin his UCFC career. He had 2 goals and 2 assists the last time that these two teams locked horns back on January the 19th. So now a 2-goal advantage here for Utica here in the third quarter with 6:58 left as we fire play back up here at the Yard. Pass traffic down the near wing. That was stolen away by Toby. Toby to the chip off the boards. Paulo out to play it and clears it in the nick of time back to center. 6:40 to go, third quarter. It is 4-2, Utica leading the ambush of St. Louis. The famed Gateway Arch featuring prominently in their logo. Hinged back to Andrew Coughlin, and Coughlin will give one a ride all the way down the pitch. Paulo will call off Duarte as he goes back for it. Now Duarte will get a touch. Duarte with 14 blocked shots. That is one thing that this ambush team does particularly well. When you look across the board at their lineup, they block a lot of shots. So they have that in common with Utica. Another thing that these two teams have in common, their next match will be against Rochester. Ambush will play them tomorrow. Utica will wait and play them at home in a week. A lead pass forward. Here's Yelovitz one-on-one with Paulo, and Paulo made the save at the box line. Paulo just outweighting Bo Yelovitz until Yelovitz had no room to work. 5:25 to play here in our third quarter tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium in this Eastern Conference clash. Domenico Vitale. Back to Ben Raymond. A pair of gentlemen who call Syracuse, New York their home. Connecting on that pass. Slow clap from around the Yard. Fans are getting back into it. Gonzalez with the back heel touch. Segura down low. Diegues, sharp corner. Save was made. Paulo, follow-up volley by Vitale. That was wide. Third attempt, Diegues. Not to be there. That was blocked away as well. 4:37 to go, third quarter. Really good run of possession up front here for Utica. Segura. Incisively across to Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Diegues bumped off of it. Gonzalez got it back, holding it up between two defenders as he withstands a couple of challenges before it got knocked out. And a great effort by Dos Santos to keep that away from Ricardo Diegues as he got it downfield. City, though, coming right back forward. Here's Segura. Stepping through the middle, Diegues. A low bouncing shot that was smothered by Paulo. Bobadilla. As the ambush come back to the attack. Tony Walls. Return from Pablo. Walls trying to make a move on Darren Toby. Two of the best at their position in the league going at it there. Up top, and they score. A howitzer from Stefan. Check the record on that. Kozakov coming up with a bullet there from the top of the zone line. And it's back to 4-3. Vadim Kozakov with just his second of the season for St. Louis. And that makes it a one-goal match once again.
Assist on the play to number 2, Tony Walls.
Give the assist to Tony Walls, who really had played an active role in the most recent run of possession for St. Louis. Thomas, great touch to the wing. Stepping up with it is Utica. And now it's Pablo. Pablo in front of the Utica bench. Down off the boards to Utica. Utica back up top. A shot through traffic by Felipe. Gathered up by Coughlin. He pump fakes. He was looking deep originally. He'll now have to settle it down for Obasi. Nate Bordeaux shuffling through the middle. Slides it back to Obasi. Obasi getting into more of that isolation game he wants to play. As now he'll head off to the bench for a change. And in his place will come James Togba. Left wing side into a crowd of traffic there along the boards. Great double by the ambush, but Segura kept it alive. Vitali and Togba taken down at the center circle. Mario Marcos acknowledging the foul almost immediately. Down to Yelovitz. Yelovitz tried the back heel. Oitamia comes up with the takeaway. 1:52 to go, third quarter. Duarte across the center line. Oitamia getting free, banks it off the boards. Bordeaux able to break it up. It came back to the front and knocked away there by Domenico Vitali. 1:30 to go, third quarter. 4-3 Utica leading the St. Louis ambush. Santos from the logo at center. Felipe changing off as he gave the ball away to Oitamea, and now City steals it away. Here's Togba. Togba on the move, coming forward. The highly mobile defender signed out of Kansas City. Lost the ball, Paulo sending it back to center. 1 minute to go, third quarter. It is one goal, the difference right now between Utica and St. Louis. Gonzalez tried to go to the chip, and as he stepped to the middle, he got run down off the ball. That's a foul against the ambush. Toby, right foot, soft touch over to Momo. 33 seconds to go here in our third quarter. Exploding to the middle, Raymond. Momo. San Luis. A collision there. Tony Walls may have caught him. One of the two players on that double took him down, and there is another foul and a free kick here for Gonzalez. Knocked from out of the middle here, Toby. Back to Gonzalez, 16 seconds left in the third quarter. And Utica content to really hold up for the last shot here. Liam Callahan out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez from way deep. Banked off the boards, it comes back to Toby. Toby down the wall, was looking for Diegas. They won't get another one away to begin, or rather conclude the third quarter as we head to the beginning of the fourth. It is 4-3 Utica leading St. Louis at the end of 3 quarters of play here at the Yard. We'll be back on MASL TV. Start of the fourth quarter here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. It's 4-3 Utica leading the St. Louis Ambush. The St. Louis goals by Thomas, San Luis, and Kozakov. Kozakov's assisted by Tony Walls, the most recent score at 11:24 of the third quarter. Utica goals tonight from Segura, Bordeaux, Uros Momic, and Ricardo Diegues. Again, Diegues now has scored in all but one appearance. He has scored a goal in all but one appearance with Utica City since his acquisition this offseason. Callahan working it forward. We're underway in the fourth quarter. Gonzalez down low. Yelovitz back up top. Here's Schindler. Schindler, a little shuffle step before sweeping it back to Yelovitz, and now back to center it comes for Onua Obasi. Jake Schindler back to Andrew Coughlin. Obasi with his left foot. Coughlin will look to stretch the field. Down to the corner, banked off the wall. Yelovitz. Yelovitz getting it right back to his foot. And now Obasi will look to take his man forward. Opted for the hinge pass instead from Schindler. 14 minutes to go. It's a one-goal match. And Jake Schindler looking back for Andrew Coughlin once more. Steered down the field, bouncing ball corralled by Yelovitz. Back to the middle, it's Schindler. Utica content to kind of take its time here, bleed some clock. They have a one-goal lead, and they'd rather take the right opportunity. At this point, banked off the boards. A nice play there by Segura, but nobody there to clean up on the opposite side as Mauricio Salas was able to wrestle it away at center. Salas, one of the greatest USL players of all time, and a long-time arena soccer veteran as well. James Togba to Salas. Salas to Vitale. Entry cut through the box, deflected back out wide by the ambush defense. Vitale keeps it moving. Fed into the middle, Salas, Diegues, his shot was blocked. A great effort there by San Luis, a shot going off the post from the left wing side. And Mauricio Salas will pick up the foul here on Oitamia. Another look here, that was Mauricio Salas coming dangerously close to what would have been his first goal back in a Utica City uniform here in the 1920 season. Banked off the boards and blocked off the foot of Uros Momic. That was a great little setup coming down the wall there for Bobadilla. Santos feeds the middle. Bobadilla denied the ball. Togba trying to lunge back for it. Ambush come up on the attack, and Mario Marcos lost the ball. And then he comes in and fouls Diegues as it was coming out through center. There's kind of a chase down there at the central mark of the field. 12:03 to go. It is 4-3 Utica. Right now the go-ahead goal as it stands belongs to Ricardo Diegues. Kozakov with the most recent tally for St. Louis, making it a one-goal game. Banked off the wall down to Bo Yelovitz. This is where he can go to work. Chipped back up top to Toby. Toby keeps the line moving. 11:37 to go, fourth quarter. Yelovitz working it free. $11:21 to go here, fourth quarter. Long shot, Gonzalez blocked out from the top of the box. Jonathan Santos able to knock it away, and then it was sent into orbit, up and out of play. And a nice one-handed catch made by a gentleman in the beer garden. Not a single drop was spilled. 11 minutes to go, fourth quarter. It is 4-3 Utica. Even the fans are in top form tonight. And this defensive stalemate between the two sides, and this, I think, very much plays into a number of different things you'll see in each team's game plan. St. Louis likes to block a ton of shots. Utica, a team that likes to play five behind the ball and go from there. Gonzalez with a shot, ripped off of Paulo, who made the save. Another save by Paulo. That time on Diegues. Two fantastic saves for Paulo to keep this at 4-3. Diegues banked it off the boards. It eludes Dos Santos. I mean, by the same token, you could make the argument as well. Both teams would love to be leading comfortably, but I think both sides are built to play in tight games. That's just generally how it operates. Utica's only at a plus 22 differential through 10 games. Paulo coming up to strike. He rang one off the crossbar. And now trying to chip Paulo at the other end. That one will go high and wide for Mauricio Salas. They brought Paulo up into the attack in a hurry. And he nearly got the better of his counterpart. That thing screamed to the crossbar before jumping out. 9:22 to go, fourth quarter. Angled into Coughlin. Coughlin, a thrown distribution. Looking down the left side. Yelovitz colliding with the defender. A hard foul as those two came together, just coming in at the ball. That's a foul against Yelovitz. Utica was the man hustling back. A deflection by Bo Yelovitz. Now with 9:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. A free kick for City. Nate Bordeaux down to Yelovitz. Yelovitz taking the defender with him here. Has it pinned under his right foot. And now back to the center. Bordeaux hunting this down and getting it out of duress. Some relief found in the form of Vitali. Here's Callahan surging down the boards. Wrested away by Otamea. A scramble for it on the right side. Bordeaux had his foot in there. Paulo had his hands in there. And finally, Paulo was able to trap it. 8:43 to go. Fourth quarter. Stolen away again by City. Bordeaux. Yelovitz shoots. And it goes high over the crossbar. Both teams have had a bevy of moments of panic in this one. And yet here we sit at 4-3 with 8:37 to go in the fourth quarter. And a timeout called on the pitch. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by making sure that you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. 8:37 to go, fourth quarter. It is 4-3 Utica. The two second half goals belonging to Diegues and Kozakov. End of the second period in Cleveland. It is 2-0 Utica Comets over the Cleveland Monsters. Cleveland, another city that played prominently in the world of indoor soccer back in the day. Tommy Tanner used to play there, the general manager of Utica City FC. And among the other tenants who play in this building, the Utica Pioneers right now with a 6-1 lead on the Nazareth Golden Flyers out in Rochester. Things much less settled here at home between Utica and St. Louis in the fourth quarter. And you do have to be wary of that potent St. Louis sixth attacker attack. Utica and St. Louis have played 3 times. Utica has won 2 of those meetings, but St. Louis has been able to score on average 3 extra attacker goals per game in those 3 meetings. And Utica did a really good job the last time that these two teams played. That 11-5 win over the Ambush. Utica was able to kind of neutralize that pressure a little bit, even though St. Louis did have 3 extra attacker goals in the second half. City scored twice in the fourth themselves. So if you can neutralize it with scoring yourself, that goes a long way. But St. Louis has proven that they are a threat with the extra attacker big time. And I mean, and I'll never forget it last year. Utica was up 8-1 out in St. Louis. And all of a sudden, Everton Moreira, the head coach, puts on the extra attacker jersey, goes out and fires a missile from close to midfield. And that match ended up being an 8-5 final. So again, that is something that Utica has to be wary of here in the final 8-16. Pablo, over to Paulo. They're going to use Paulo as the extra attacker for now. Paulo down the boards to Tony Walls. Toby did a great job of sealing the boards. Callahan taken down. And that's a foul credited to Tony Walls. Bobadilla was up pressuring. Coughlin got that away in the nick of time. Toby, forward, knocked away from Gonzalez. Dos Santos getting a piece of it, and then Gonzalez, a foul will go against him here as Pablo got knocked backwards. .7:37 to go, fourth quarter. And buckle up, we should have a wild, wild, wild finish on our hands here. Douglas Dos Santos along the wall. Right wing side, hinges it back to Paulo. Here's Pablo, up the left side, Santos. Down low, Walls getting free, let the shot go, it sailed over the bar, rebound came out in front. And Diego Bobadilla with about as open of an opportunity as you're going to get point blank, and he ended up steering it to the left. Just a rough bounce off the front of his foot there. His teammate Stefan San Luis right there to offer some encouragement on the bench as he came back over. Here comes City on the counterattack. Bo Yelovitz twisting it off the boards. Ben Raymond will hustle this down. And now hands it back to Segura. Segura shoots off the post. Got his own rebound. Segura again. And taken down as he came tumbling through the turf inside the goal box. We will play on. 6:27 to go in the fourth. Oichimea starting it back. And now takes the return here. He's being marked up by Segura. Oichimea getting free down the right wing. His shot blocked by Bordeaux. And here comes Dieguez on the move. Bordeaux forming up to his left. Dieguez shoots. That one deflected wide. And loose ball hunted down by Duarte. 6 minutes to go. The thinnest of margins separating Utica and St. Louis. If Utica wins this, they will move into a tie for second with the Milwaukee Wave, who are not in action tonight. The Wave are 8-3. Back to Central. Pablo over to Paulo. And now return for the wing boards. Those two continuing to play catch with it here outside the Utica zone line. Now chipped across. San Luis, right-footed shot. Banked it off the boards, looking for the header. And that will end up going wide from Utica. Utica Carvalho from Brazil. He had a couple goals in the fourth quarter rally in that 7-6 win over Utica a couple of weeks ago. A shot high and wide by Paulo. We'll get an official's timeout with 4:46 to go. It is 4-3 Utica. The finish to this one when we come back on MASL TV. No doubt a sense of tension beginning to pervade itself over the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. A 4-3 game here in the fourth quarter. But make no mistake about it, the party is on as well here on a Friday night. And these fans are into it in a one-goal match. Callahan filtered down the boards, recovered by Paulo. Oitamea, straight ahead to San Luis. Back to Oitamea, trying to cross over. Vitale broke it up and clears it down the length of the surface here. Paulo will bring it back up. Santos at the center circle to Utica. The ambush continuing to work with Paulo participating in the attack. A high shot is filtered away by Andrew Coughlin. In his second year here in Utica, Utica's resident 6-foot wall of steel comes up with another great stop. Extra attacker is now on. A shot spun in through traffic, now pinned to the boards here by Schindler, and worked free. A high clearance overhead, Coughlin shoots, and it will end up going wide. Pablo is the extra attacker for the ambush. They trail 4-3. Sliding challenge from Yelovitz. Toby won this one away. Callahan looking forward. And Walls bumping into Yelovitz at center as Tony Walls trying to recover the ball. And now Yelovitz is taking exception to that. And now things go wild in a hurry, as both parties have players that need to be restrained and sent away from the heart of the confrontation. Yelovitz and Walls were the two that originally came together. Yelovitz is given a blue card, and Walls will also receive one as well. Things went a little astray there, as Walls just collided just outside the zone line with Yelovitz. Walls is trying to have a word with the officials here. The huddle of officials that are around that same penalty box are telling him to please remain out of the conversation. And Yelovitz is separated in the other penalty bench. 2-minute penalties on both sides, both blue cards. And we're going to play a little bit of 4 aside plus the keeper here. So they're going to bring Coughlin up to help with any distribution that needs to happen. Toby over to Coughlin, 3:25 to go. Down the field off the front of the foot of Onua Obasi, the former Philadelphia Union trialist. And now it will be the extra attacker again coming on for St. Louis. Pablo is on. Got a touch there, sent it to Utica. Utica back to Pablo, to the center, San Luis. Got it back out of the heart of the field. Utica looking to his right. De Silva stepping forward to Santos. Both teams with a player in the penalty bench right now. Tony Walls and Yelovitz both serving blue cards. Oitameo with a shot. What a save by Coughlin. Oitameo was looking for the tie. And Andrew Coughlin keeps this one at a 4-3 score with 2:28 to go. And now Utica wants a timeout and they'll get it. 2:28 to go, fourth quarter. 1:01 left of the penalties. A 1-goal match between Utica and the St. Louis Ambush. Again, if Utica can find a way to close the deal, they would be in a tie for second with the Milwaukee Wave, the defending champions. St. Louis, this is really big for them as well, as I believe only the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference right now are over 500. This would get them back to the 500 mark and right in to the heart of the playoff race, where they've definitely, to this point, they've had some quality wins that have opened some eyes out there. I mean, that Milwaukee win had the eyeballs of pretty much the entire league. Scores from around the league in the meantime. At last report, the Blast leading the Lancers 6-0. The Tropics are up 2-0 on the sidekicks. And then we'll have Turlock and Sonora coming up a little bit later on, along with the Tacoma Stars and the Harrisburg Heat. There's a matchup you don't see every day. But right now, 4-3 Utica leading the Ambush. And again, those scores right now are current as most recently reported. I just did a quick refresh just to make sure as we restart play. Out of the timeout. Dieguez with a foul, and it will be coming back the other way. Off the restart there, that was Jonathan Santos who got taken down by Dieguez. .219 to go, fourth quarter. Oitamea, the Ambush down by a goal. Oitamea, that pass just in front of Pablo. And now chipped back downfield. Utica getting some relief here against the extra attacker. And when those penalties are released, you have to be mindful. Both sides do. Obasi with the deflection. A foot race. Down to the near side. Obasi kept it alive, trying to make a beeline back towards the middle, and Oitamea was able to undercut that opportunity for City to come forward. Really alert play there by both parties. The deflection there and chasing it down forward by Obasi, and then the recovery by Oitamea. Pablo down low, a sharp angle shot is sent high and wide by Utica. 1 second left in the penalties. Walls and Yelovitz set to be released with 1:29 to play in regulation. And they both come darting out of the box. Toby has to be mindful of Walls' presence there coming down the boards. Coughlin, downfield, headed by Dieguez, a 2-on-1 forming up. Yelovitz to Dieguez. Dieguez scrambling through the box, lost the ball. And then taking a spill was Kozakov. With 1:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Kozakov still slow to get up here in the St. Louis box. That's a foul against Utica. That's how it's whistled in. The physicality in this one has been prevalent throughout. Familiarity breeds contempt, and it also breeds competition. And we've got a great competition coming down to the wire. 1 minute left to go. 4-3 Utica. Tony Walls holding it up in the corner. He's being pressured by Obasi. Oitamea across to Pablo. Pablo got it caught off the back of his heels. Dos Santos changing back on. Thomas. Bordeaux is right there in front of him and nearly stole it away. Dos Santos brings it back forward. Oitamea. Little double shuffle crossover there. As he stepped over and cleared down the field by Obasi. Dos Santos will hustle this down. It will go wide of the frame. 21 seconds remaining. A long shot deflected out of the middle by Thomas. 7 seconds to go. Another chance. The header by Walls was a missed connection. Oitamea across. One final chance at the buzzer. Toby blocks it. And Utica walks away a 4-3 winner. By golly, what a match. These fans have been waiting for Friday night. Utica City has been waiting over 2 weeks to come home and play a home match. And they don't disappoint in their return, a 4-3 final. That gets Utica to 8-3 overall on the season through their first 11 matches of the year. And they're now 5-1 when playing here on home turf, the blue turf here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Andrew Coughlin with an unbelievable performance between the pipes tonight for Utica. And Paulo with a commendable effort as well for the St. Louis Ambush. 9 saves on 12 is credited to Andrew Coughlin. He picks up the win. And the loss will go to Paulo. He made 5 saves on 9 shots. Came up with a couple of really huge stops. As we get ready to go downstairs here to Alicia D'Addario for our post-game interview. And we'll find out exactly who she's talking to in just a moment. In the meantime, definitely a reason for a little victory dance here. As Alicia D'Addario is getting down with the promo team in the middle of the field and waiting for her guest to come over. It will be Andrew Coughlin.
And now let's send it down to the field with Alicia for our Carbone Honda Man of the Match interview. Alicia?
Thanks, Tim. I'm here with Andrew Coughlin. A tight game. This is the 3rd time you played St. Louis. How much did that have an effect on how this game was played?
I mean, every game they get to learn tendencies a little bit more, and I think they came out and they played their best game they had against us. They did something a little bit different and play a zone mostly, which kind of frustrated us, but we were able to get some goals and luckily kept the lead there at the end.
How do you play disciplined and not make mistakes when it's so close to the end?
It's tough because everybody's fatigued too, but I'll tell you what, the fans keeping us in this game till the end was great. And, you know, guys just staying focused, and we train for this. We train hard just for these moments.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Coughlin, tonight's man of the match, and a well-deserved honor. Again, he comes up with another huge performance on the heels of a great game and a win over St. Louis a couple of weeks ago. As for the individual scoring summary, it looks something like this here tonight. Again, a 4-3 final in favor of Utica City FC. Tonight's first star of the game is Ricardo Dieguez with a goal and an assist. And we'll run down the rest of the scoring, and then the second and third stars should be out there early. At 4:18 of the first quarter, Christian Segura got the scoring started with an even strength goal that was unassisted. Utica would double down on a goal by Nate Bordeaux, assisted by Diegas at 9:45 of the first quarter. And then the Ambush got one back by way of a J.T. Thomas shot on the top of the arc. He was able to crank one into the goal frame and score to make it 2-1 at the end of one. Uros Momic with a goal at 9:23. He was able to have it ricochet off a cavalcade of defenders at the front of the net. That made it 3-1 Utica, but St. Louis would close right back up on a goal by Stephane St. Louis, with Douglas Dos Santos picking up the assist at 12:57. That would bring us into the half. It was 3-2 Utica at that point. Only 2 goals in the second half. They come in the third quarter. Ricardo Diegas at 7:57, and then Kozakov closing out the scoring at 11:24. St. Louis had it at 1 goal at that point, but they never got any closer, as the Utica defense, led by Andrew Coughlin, was able to prevent any additional goals. And, you know, talking about the series so far to this point, as Utica takes a 3-1 lead in the all-time series, you've got to consider this. That St. Louis extra attacker unit has been very, very difficult for Utica to contend with traditionally. And tonight, they held that extra attacker group off the board. So, again, a tip of the cap to both sides. St. Louis for being, you know, so often formidable in that situation, and Utica for rising to the challenge here tonight. I think that there's a lot to be gained from this game from both sides of the aisle. The Ambush with a 1-goal loss here, after coming all this way up to the Empire State. They'll take on Rochester tomorrow. And Utica back here on home turf for the first time in weeks, and they win by a 4-3 score. Utica now 8-3 in their first 11, and they move up into a tie for second alongside the Milwaukee Wave in their first ever Friday home game here tonight. The St. Louis Ambush, they will take a second straight loss. Utica takes 2 out of 3 on the season, and the Ambush now 6-8 and 2-5 when playing away from the Family Arena. What's next for Utica, you may ask? Well, the answer to that question is a match on February the 9th. It's a Sunday, Soccer Sunday, returning to the Odd as Utica takes on the Rochester Lancers. A 2 p.m. kickoff, as always, and then on the 13th and 14th, Utica will be at Mesquite, and then the Dallas Sidekicks. So with that said, a 4-3 final score in favor of Utica here tonight. The game-winning goal belonging to Ricardo Diegas at 7:57 of the third quarter. Until next time on February the 9th, we bid you adieu from the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. For everyone here at Utica City FC, this is Ray Biggs saying so long, goodbye, and be good to yourselves and each other.